is Spalding above all.
How good is Darren Fox? For me, I'm not supposed to answer first.
Whoever you want.
You go first.
To be honest, because it's the Kings, I haven't watched enough of their games. I haven't seen enough sample size to really see enough to give you a fair assessment. I've watched a few games recently, and from what I've seen, I can think he's incredibly quick off the ball. He's a great point guard, but in that system, I just constantly find him with Sacramento. Their defense is woeful. The team is woeful. It's always going to be the perennial all-stars, the people that they're around the league and making those all first, second team, third team all-stars are usually typically on winning teams unless you're generational players like the people we've spoken about. So for me, it's too early. It's very too early to tell for me. But I think he has the potential of maybe being once or twice an all-star. But unless Sacramento improves really quickly or he moves into a better environment or is traded to a different winning team, it's going to be very, very tough in Sacramento.
So we're gonna go this way?
Yeah.
Okay, so my opinion, I've watched quite a bit of his games this season. This season, I think he's just kind of coming into his own. I saw actually a little debate where they said he is what Ja Morant should be, kind of thing. So basically, they're kind of comparing the two. So Ja Morant is like light years ahead of him in terms of his play versus what De'Aaron should be. De'Aaron is just starting to come into it, and I think, to your point, I've watched enough games now where I see it's still a bit of we're trying to give him the ball feature and let him run the offense. Is he a great point guard? I don't know. I'd have to go and look at the statistics in terms of his assist ratio, but I think offensively he's incredible. I think Lonzo and Lonzo are in the same class. Lonzo's nowhere near him. Like what I thought Lonzo was gonna be versus what he is. He's starting to show now he could be playing with the all-stars, the superstars of the league. I think he's on a bad team, and anytime you're on a bad team, it's tough. I played on a bad team my whole fucking career, and I swear to God, but I did. So it's like I understand what he's going through. It's like you can look really good, and people will come back and go, "Well, are you really that good, or are you just on a bad team?" But it's just like I think he's slowly starting to realize, okay, every night I'm the man with the ball. I can now orchestrate offenses, and I think he will eventually become a future of the NBA, in my opinion.
So because he's on my fantasy squad, and he's actually one of my keepers. He's one of my keepers from last year. I do have I have the radar on him. I've been watching him. I think he's amazing. He's all around game.
Amazing? That's the word you're gonna use?
Yeah, I think he's amazing. I wrote on this paper.
Yeah, that's good.
Read the name.
Yeah, John Wall. Yeah,
he's a better version of John Wall.
When I think of him, I think of Wall. That was when
he's a better version of John Wall, and that's a lot to say, seeing that he came in the league after and he's younger.
Right.
But he's what John Wall. You wish John Wall looked at. Listen, he's a point guard. He'll dunk on your head.
Yeah, it's true.
He'll hit the three. Yeah. He'll give you 10 assists a game, drop 25 points. His defense, he's good at steals, but I don't know in the context that comes. Look, once again, he's on my fantasy, so I see the numbers. I don't see the games as much. To your point, he's on the market there is terrible. I don't know if he ever, unless they're playing the Raptors.
And
they play twice a year.
Last game they beat the Raps.
Kings games on TV,
right? Yeah. But once again, that's a team full of young talent in which a young player is expected to be the leader. So it's a tricky situation. The young player being him, and it's a tricky situation. But I think he's off the charts. I think he has a great future in the league. Better John Wall. Remember I said it.
Yeah. No,
I'm a big fan, to be honest.
Big fan.
I like his game a lot, man. He's very fun to watch, and he's trying to win, man. It's so tough in those situations where you just don't have the firepower to win easily. You know what I'm saying? So they're forced for him to produce in order for them to compete. And then if there's a night things might start slow for him, then they just go down 20 or something crazy But as far as an individual basketball player, I think he's really, really good, man. And I think he has potential to continue to get better. He's a scorer, he's not a shooter. If he continues to shoot the ball, then the driving is going to open up even more and things along those lines. So, man, he's really good. He's really good. I'm a big fan, to be completely honest. So.
Yeah. I think, like you said, maybe we have to, and we can continue to talk about it, but I think as time goes on, I think we just have to look at the fact of what he's put out so far this season, and I think he's at that trajectory where he can get a lot better. Like I think he's slowly starting to get comfortable with, like Darnell was saying, with like offenses and et cetera, et cetera. Like he will be a player I think for the future to look out for.
What is it, 23?
Yeah, super young.
Yeah, super young. So there's plenty.
No, I don't even.
Yeah, he may be 22.
Under 25.
no,
Under 25 for sure.
yeah.
Under 25 for sure.
Yeah.
Young dude, man.
Yeah, I think
Really
you
good.
raised a good point. I think he's a young John Wall and has the potential to be even better than John Wall.
Even better, yeah.
Right. Thank you. Next, Tristan. Thank you. Right.
That's me.
Chris.
All right. Spalding basketball. Bringing out the gems.
Good time.
NBA switching to Wilson soon.
Oh, same question about LeBron. We can talk about that again.
No.
Oh yeah, that was my bad. I dropped it back in there. I tried to fish it out.
All right, let's talk about that again.
I'm good. I'm tired of talking about LeBron. I swear.
This time with energy.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm so over LeBron. Don't put no more LeBron jokes in there, man.
Oh, good question. Who is the final person to take the shot on Brooklyn?
Ooh, you whoever you want to start off.
Man, you go first.
Okay, I'll start it. I think, in my opinion, and I want you guys to hear me out. I read a couple articles first, and then I actually watched the games. And everybody, first of all, said Chris Broussard. Shout out to Chris Broussard. He said Kyrie should be the only one to take the ball and handle the ball during clutch moments. At first, I thought he was a little crazy for saying that, but after watching the games,
Talking to Swaggy P.
I 100% agree with him. I think Kyrie is the neutral person that should handle the ball. And hear me out, because KD is a quality, intelligent shot taker. He doesn't take very many bad shots. If you notice his game, he is very efficient. James Harden now becomes the facilitator. So I don't think James Harden wants to be the guy to handle the ball during those positions. I think Kyrie is fearless enough because he has that Kobe Mamba mentality. He doesn't care. He would be okay taking those shots and you blame it on him. And I think in terms of what he does offensively, and now we're seeing the way it's kind of molding, James Harden could be more of a facilitator. KD, you're going to get him, but the obvious person to give the ball to is KD. So now it's like Kyrie's your third option. We're not going to give it to Kyrie, but Kyrie could always bring the ball down and make the decision to either attack, kick, not necessarily would he do it, but James Harden could bring the ball down and say, okay, we're going to devise an offense, give the ball to Kyrie. Kyrie, you spot up, you make that final shot. I think in every position, the ball should be in James Harden to dribble the ball, but I think Kyrie on the wing or wherever you want to kind of position him should have the ball in those last closing moments to either decide to shoot it or pass it up, in my opinion.
I don't want to seem like I don't know basketball, right? That's right? That's a weird way to start. But what I'm gonna say, my answer is, I think it doesn't matter. I think it's more about whatever play is drawn up, how the play breaks down, but it has to be in one of their hands. If ever it's a last play and it ends up in Cabarros's hand, it's like, no, that should have never happened. However, if any of those three take the shot, you're not going to be like, yo, what the hell was that, Jeff Green? You're never going to be mad if any three of them take the shot. I lie. Now, on the flip side of that question, the one who I think should take the shot the least is James Harden. I think it should always be between Kyrie or Durant.
That's good.
That's interesting.
That's good, yeah.
Me personally, like it's got to be KD every single time.
Wow.
I think if the game is close, you give KD the ball, you guys move out the way, and you live with the result of that. To be completely honest, if he's getting to anywhere within 17 feet and inside, like we're talking about like 50% shooting, man.
Oh, minimum.
Yeah. So for me personally, if I'm a coach, you know, no disrespect to Kyrie, no disrespect to Harden. Kyrie might take more attempts for the game too. When I've been looking, he usually has the most attempts.
Yeah, which is weird.
But if the game is close, championship on the line, or whatever the case may be, tough game, playoffs, whatever, man. If I'm the coach, I'm giving it to KD every single time.
But I'm saying, with that said, why not Kyrie? Like, is there something that KD can do in that moment Kyrie cannot do?
I just think KD shoots a little bit higher on percentage.
Okay.
That's how I would make my decision.
Yeah, true.
I'm gonna, as we all know, basketball is a game of matchups, right? We understand, depending on who they're playing, it may make more sense for Kyrie to be shooting the ball or James Harden.
And that's the beauty
or KD. So I don't have a problem with any three of them taking the final shot. But if I'm putting my championship shot on the line, I'm passing it to Kevin Durant. The man is 7 foot.
Yeah.
No one's blocking. Someone may block James Harden's shot. Someone may block Kyrie's shot. But tell me the last time you've seen anyone block KD's shot.
That's true. That's true.
And the second part of KD is, again, anywhere to your point as well, I'm going to back you up on that as well. Anything within 17 foot, the man is shooting at a 50% clip. The man's shooting at three-point range around 40%. You're giving it to KD.
Yeah.
Put championship on the line, it's KD.
Here's a question, though. I'm challenging both of you on this because you guys said that. Do you think that KD, in terms of basketball, dribbling, handling the ball, can get to the same spots that Kyrie can to take that shot? That's the question I would ask you.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
You think so?
He can get anywhere he wants.
He doesn't
handling the rock the
Why
same
not
way
Kyrie? I think Kyrie and KD could do the same.
That's why I said either one of
They
those
could do the
two.
same
This
thing.
is a guy that his teammates are just lucky, like he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
If he wanted to be a guy that says, give me the ball every single time, no one's touching it for the rest of the game, you can't even tell him that he's wrong for thinking that.
Sure.
So, man, like, for me, it's not even a question.
It's not even a question for me as well.
He should be shooting 30 shots a game.
We're gonna,
I don't even disagree.
I'm being
I don't
honest.
even disagree. But I just feel like if either of them take it, I'm
Sorry, go ahead, Chris. What do you think?
how many times did Durant lead the league in scoring? 5, 6 years,
Yeah,
something like that.
something like that.
Straight out of
Yeah.
the
How much, James?
5 or 6. So I think he has more scoring championships than
James?
James Harden.
Yeah.
So, but I think to your point, the man could, if the man was shooting 40 shots per game, the guy would average 40. He's become, as he's become older, he's become, you know,
More of a facilitator.
selfless.
Yeah.
More selfless.
Yeah.
He's one of the greatest pure scorers of
Ever.
all time,
Ever.
without a doubt. I think when we're all said and done, health willing, he'll beat Kareem and LeBron's scoring record.
Yeah.
Either one, whoever has them interchangeable. But you got to give it to KD, the greatest scorer of all time, most likely.
Yeah.